Oh, baby cakes. Welcome back. Welcome back. I just did a tweet on our friend sent me as well what your review would be if you were writing a review of him. So got to have some fun with that. Welcome back. Welcome back. Interesting conversation this morning. I'm going to go over it. We'll make this a quick one, maybe 20, 25 minutes. A lot to cover. So don't know how much I get into the chat. We'll see how real quick. What's up, Red Squirrel? Number one. I didn't even announce it on Twitter, but Red Squirrel must have saw it on his YouTube feed and clicked. So appreciate that, man. Godfather J6, welcome. As you all pile in here, let me, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to explain about, so I've launched 3 websites this past week. plsnow.net, which is real-time DEX transactions for Uniswap v2 across PulseChain. I talked about it in the last couple streams. Maybe I probably won't bring it up today, but it's there. Check it out if you want. GoHexApp.com, which is literally just a view into the Decentralized app, which is what we're going to talk about. And then GoPulseBridge.com, which I launched yesterday after I saw Richard Decentralized. Further went down the mission and went through the sites. So yes, as Dipcatcher said, these are actually trusted websites. Okay. There's a lot of context going on right now, but yes, trusted websites in the sense, again, correct me if I'm wrong, Dipcatcher, trusted in the way that I'm heavily incentivized not to scam people as a member of this community. And they are basically a landing page. Yes, there we go. So make sure you spell URLs correctly. Yes. Do not misspell. Again, I'm going to go through the trade-offs and sides on it as well. I was going to bring up, by the way, shout out to Dipcatcher, one of the people I respect almost maybe you're in the top 5 of the entire community for, I've talked about Maximus products and the things that him and Goldcatcher do a lot. So yeah, it is always good to have, to have different perspectives on it and things we agree or disagree on or otherwise. So I think it makes for, again, we did the debate with Katie and Gold Key the other day and turned out great. I actually formed a better perspective myself on it. So I like having these open dialogues, and I appreciate appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I appreciate the conversation this morning, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit about here as well. So anyways, what's up, Thoughts Child? Welcome. Let me get into it. So I'll bring up the tweet and I'll bring up the sites too. Let me prep this real quick. So go to gosh, can I get over the sinus congestion? Just been like 3 weeks. What's up? So bring up these two. Go to hexapp.com. I'm just going to stage real quick. Stage the URL so it'll be easier when I go to them. Okay. So let's go to the first one. Reason I trust person face to face verify. Yeah. I mean, the second part's most good, I think. I mean, of course, my goal, I avoid the goal of wanting people to trust me, although I feel like I have a track record so far of being trustworthy. But really, number 2, I think verifying they're reliable. And I've went through threads and like how to right click view sort. We'll do it again. I did it last week or a couple days ago as well. I talked about, yes, number 2, I think is the most important. And that's what I want to make emphasize here, as in you can trust me or not, but you can look at the code and kind of verify. So that's the most important thing. But yes, good points. So let me bring up the site. All right. If you are new here and haven't seen the new go to hex.com, or you're going to go to stake Hex or otherwise, there is a portal. There used to be a portal. There is a landing page now called go.hex.com. And from there are links to decentralized websites, networks, stuff like that, IPFS. And these are different links to go there. So you click on the D-Link one, it brings it up. You have, unlock MetaMask just so you can see it better. And you have a decentralized website, decentralized DApp, hosting of a DApp. So no centralized, great. This is again part of the process of Richard, dev team, whoever is running all this stuff, going through and saying, we're not going to host a website, we're going to decentralize. So what is the trade-off with that though, right? So now for onboarding, instead of saying go to hex.com, and that's your portal, you do everything there. It's got a nice little icon here that says secure, trusted, TLS, all that stuff. Now we don't have that anymore. And in one sense, that's great because, hey, further decentralization, right? You run the code, you do all the stuff, no one's hosting it, all that. But it also creates trade-offs, right? It creates things like this, where you have a website that literally, has a URL that looks like this. And I'm not a fan of URLs that look like that. And if they didn't have to choose that, they would go to, they would much rather want to go to hex.com and just see the platform and be able to click all the buttons, do all the stuff, right? So this URL, and not to mention the antivirus and all the stuff that's going to be like, oh, what is this crazy URL? Like, what is IPFS? A lot of scams are on IPFS, just like they are everywhere else. All that type of thing. A lot of crypto unfriendly security software out there that is probably going to, I've heard people flag it and stuff like that. So it's just unavoidable until it changes or otherwise. So again, trade-offs, not good, not bad, trade-offs. Yes. Now, it's good for decentralization. It's good for, all the crypto projects who want to make their case to all the people doubting them or government agencies, stuff like that. Hey, we're not hosting anything. Now they have this. So how would you verify that these links and stuff are legit? Well, you still are trusting this website. You're still saying, okay, here's the hash. Here's a hash for this. And does this look the same? Or like here, actually, it's not even like if you go to this one, if you go to NTF, I thought one of these were the same. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so the redirect here. So, okay, gosh, right click here. So if you look at the hash, if you put it here, you can see that it's, I guess it's like a shortcut link, 3fs.link. And then here is Q, capital Q, MC, ends in XT, TW, all that stuff. And that is the same hash you can see we have here. So those links, you're still trusting the links here are legit. Okay. So now there's that way to check it. But again, you have this link here. And what I've created, and maybe other people have created too, but there's a lot of different ways to do this. But one way is just to use an iframe to be like, okay, now if you register a domain and stuff that has gohexapp.com, for example, and it literally, if you go to view page source, all this is like making it look nice and styled and stuff like that, giving it a title. None of this really matters. The only part that really matters is, again, 21 lines of code. The 20th line says this URL. And you can take this URL and compare it to the one that you get from going here, which is, back. What this stuff does. Iframe is just a way of like putting a view into a website. You're putting a website into a website. So literally this website, the only thing it's doing is giving you a window. It's giving you a frame. It's giving you, trying to say it in non-technical terms, it's giving you a way to interact with another website. And since it's decentralized and stuff, it's like, oh, that's cool. It's just basically like a hosted window into a decentralized app. Now, when you interact with this app, it is exactly the same. You click all the buttons. You see that I'm already connected. When I click this link, I'm already connected to it. There's no new permissions because I was connected to this one before. So it's the same app. It's just a different URL. And it looks much cleaner, nicer onboarding, all the stuff, all the friction. So even if you don't trust the person who made this website, you can just look at the source code and then compare, the hashes and links and stuff. So how would you tell a scam? Well, if you, did view, I'm not saying, so this is a simple example, right? Like view source, a lot of times it doesn't work. It's not going to give you the right code. There's different complexities with websites and stuff like this. But if you did go to view source on some scam website, maybe it doesn't clearly show what's going on here. Maybe it's a bunch of other stuff, all that stuff. So I guess that's one way to look at it is, does it show the URL? Does it show the hash? Does it show everything lining up the same as it would from the go.hex.com website, which is here. So that's one thing. That's for the hex part. So Hex app, decentralized, now onto the bridge. So if you, again, if you didn't get the update from the bridge, there used to be a website that hosted the dApp for the bridge on bridge.pulsechain.com. Now there is on bridge.pulsechain.com, same as go.hex.com, there is a landing page for the different decentralized URLs. And again, I forgot to cover from the Hex, but yeah, you can download the desktop apps, run it, all this stuff. I'll talk about that on Corey's show later on as well. But the IPFS version, again, I was like, okay, well, I can just go get a domain that that looks similar to what people would use for this and do exactly the same thing. So exact same code. So again, if you click on the DWeb link, actually DWeb link wasn't working the first time I tried for some reason. I don't know why. So I used the NTFS or I'll say NTFS, NFTs storage. NTFS is a Windows file system. So you click on that. It goes here. Again, you got the Baffy stuff. And then if you go to gopulsebridge.com, you will see exact same thing. Let's see. Okay, I haven't connected this one. So I'm going to connect to this one and show you. I'm going to connect to Baffy. Connect. You couldn't see the MetaMask probably, but I just connected to it. Now it's got the wallet and stuff here. And now I'm going to refresh gopulsebridge.com. And let's see. That should already be connected. Dude, weird. It should already be connected because it's the same dApp. Or did I go to a different one? I clicked on NTFS link. Let's see. Maybe I just need to hit click wallet and it should. Why is it? Again, view page source, it's NTF storage. Yeah, that's the one I went to. So view page source, here's the hash. So again, you can compare the hash QMB, QA. You go over to here, QMB, QA. So we know it's the same place. I'm just wondering, interesting. I wonder if the bridge is different on there, like the connection part. Goes, the Go Hex app was the same. Oh. Is it saying Ethereum? Oh, that's what it is. For some reason, did it switch to? Why is it on Ethereum? Connector not found. Technical difficulties. Hang in there. I have no idea. I literally used the bridge earlier for this, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just switch to Ethereum. Let's see. So switch to Ethereum. Let me refresh this again. Yeah. I don't know. That's weird. So on gotohex.com, it should just automatically connect. But here, click connect wallet. Okay. Okay. You just need to click connect wallet. All right. Whatever. So apparently it doesn't auto connect like it does with the other apps. I'm sure it's just a tech difference there. But you see, it didn't. Well, you couldn't see, but off screen, it was asking me for permissions, connect to it, all this stuff. This one, I literally just hit connect MetaMask and didn't ask for anything else because it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same bridge, exact same app. Nothing's changed. The same code, literally same code as go.hex, except it's I changed the title and the URL is probably different. So yeah, that's it. And then there's no you connect to it, use it just like you would anything else. I'll put these in the chat too so you guys can check them out. GoHex.com, GoPLSBridge.com, and I'll bring up the last point for me and Dipcatcher's conversation because I think it's pretty interesting. This is great for DeFi Terraform more than people are using it hard. I'm not sure if you're referring to. I'm going to say you're referring to the decentralization factor in general, which, yeah, I agree. Again, I agree with Dipcatcher. It's a trade-off. I agree. Everything's a trade-off. I don't think there's a lot of clearly right or wrong. There's very, very few that's 90-10, right? Just going to check the chat real quick before I go to the conversation. What does running code, hex code mean exactly? Sounds like validated work. Yeah, there's, I mean, whoever's running the network is running the code. That's the clients running the network and stuff. So yeah, code is running on the machines of those performing work on the network. Yeah, I didn't cover that earlier, but that's a fundamental point. The catcher, like we sacrifice easy use for added decentralization may have short-term negative impact. Yeah, I think so. I agree. See, wait dogs on that. Archie says more decentralizable as much as possible. We're concerned with words. I think there's points both ways. Look at that image in Twitter. Did you send me something? Let's see. Oh, interesting. Let me pull this up. I've not read it yet. Very interesting. So the downside of the iframe technique is your mask shows how long it's boostful. The URL that MetaMask shows you as long as spoof pool up to the L2 that refers to employee spoof contract. Okay, so the MetaMask part. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it does have that. I'm not sure. I mean, technical wise, I haven't thought of other techniques other than iframe. Well, actually, I did try a couple. I tried doing like a proxy pass with Nginx, and for some reason, it just wouldn't work. I just tried, couldn't get it to work. I'm like, okay, well, why not just iframe it? So I did that. But I'm not sure how to. So how? Yeah, how would you? I assume there's not like another solution for it. It's just kind of like FYI. Long as boostful up to the L2. Yeah, I guess. But so there's two ways. So okay, so you bring up a point too. There's two ways to look at this, or the two ways to see if it's a scam thing, or that the average user, I don't know, that has a little bit of technical could do. So one is, yeah, you could check the MetaMask, the URL and stuff like that, and then compare it. Although there are ways to spoof it, I guess, here. And then again, the source code. So you check the source code, check this. I think that's, to me, yeah, you kind of need to. You need to look at MetaMask, and you also need to look at the code. So what does the website do? If you can clearly see what it's doing, if you can clearly see there's an iframe here that's communicating with the IPFS, then you can move on to making sure MetaMask is doing what it's supposed to do as much as you can. But I still think verifying the code if possible. And again, that's what I'm saying. If you go to a site and you view source and it's like you can't read it, it's like doesn't make any sense, or it doesn't show you obvious stuff like this, or there's other stuff going on that you don't understand, I guess that's another way to avoid clicking on the wrong stuff. Yeah, the two I can think of is MetaMask. Let's see. What did you say? Copy and paste the JavaScript and HTML into Anvil. Are you saying as a, oh, okay. So like a sandbox approach, is that what you're saying? Say like have some kind of sandbox where you can actually, I'm just going with what I think you're saying here is whatever website you go to, if you can view the source and it makes sense in some way, copy and paste that into Anvil or some other sandbox and then see what it does before you run it. That's a good idea. If that's what you're saying. I like that. If that's not what you're saying, that's still a good idea, I think, as well. It's like maybe a third way to verify. I'm curious, like what other ways they are to verify? Because I'm going to go to, let's see, where is our conversation? Yeah. So this way, don't think there's a lot of good solutions. Again, trade-offs. And then, yeah, we were having spoofing. I want to bring this one up too. So again, everything can be spoofed. They both can be spoofed. But yeah, these are kind of the worlds I was trying to describe here too. So like one is like we basically like all agree on the community. We're not going to support anything that's not the landing page and the click for IPFS and stuff like that. So let's say, I'm not saying that's even practical or possible, but let's say that. And then again, it's kind of like that's only who hears us, like who follows us on Twitter. We're only going to reach those people. We're not going to reach the random new onboards who have watched YouTube video and went and seen this, unless we, not practical to like get information out to every single person. So that'd be one downside. And then again, there's still going to be scams to, they're going to do this stuff anyways and still get people. And then we're sacrificing in that. We're sacrificing the, I think again, I don't want to make a big deal out of like the URL being prettier, making a huge difference. It's not about, I think it's just the removing of friction. It's not about what the URL looks like. Of course, a crazy looking URL is not as good. But to me, it's more about having a place to go to do stuff. That again, it's either trusted in whatever way, trusted by the person, trusted by, I want to avoid trusting the person and prioritize trusting self-verification. Like you being able to, right click and look at the source and be like, okay, this looks like, okay. Or, getting it audited, like going, maybe, I don't know, Pulse Police or maybe whoever else can like take a look at some of the community sites and be like, is this a scam site or not? And then if they're going to list stuff or whoever's going to use that data to list stuff, they'll be like, okay, this has been verified. Somebody's looked at it. Only use this one or this one or this one. That'd be mine. It could be anyone's. So that's one point. And then I really do think it goes back to trying to save people from themselves. I think that if it's an easy thing to do, then we can like try to do that like in a way. But I think if to me, the ROI is like, I want to use this stuff. Like I build stuff that I want to use for the most part. Yeah. Like I think everything I build, or I'm going to say build, it's 21 lines of HTML. Like it's not dev stuff. It's just like, yeah, that's just a way to do it. But I want to make stuff or build stuff, whatever, content wise and code wise, that, instead of going to IPFS stuff, I want to bookmark this and use it myself because, I know it's safe. So, and then of course, if other people are able to benefit, then yeah, good too. So that's what made me come up with the stream and to talk about it for a minute as well. All right, going back to the dip catcher thread within raw HTML JavaScript to work site modification. Okay. I wish they had a raw web source download. You can effectively trust IPFS links provided they haven't changed. Yeah, that's the other thing too. So I feel like we're going to get down a rabbit hole of, we're trying to guess what Richard and Dev Team's going to do too. So what if they're like, we're just going to, Richard tweets or whatever, hey, we had to change the URLs now. It's like, geez, like how much, I feel like the decentralized approach, again, has these trade-offs where it can be, if there's not a one place to go, and how much Richard's changed stuff over the years and changed his mind or changed the website. Like we're seeing the big changes now. No one would ever guess this would happen, right? Like this just wasn't even on the radar for me, at least. Like, how do we know it's not going to change it again? And like he's going to have to change URLs, or what about for new versions? Like I don't know how this stuff works. I've never uploaded an app to IPFS. Like I imagine if you upload the new code, you're gonna have a new URL and stuff. So that's gonna be interesting too. So we're kind of trying to, I feel like whatever decision, whatever like thing we settle on today is just there's gonna be new information that's gonna be like, oh, this is less of a good idea or less of a bad idea, or oh, this that kind of thing. So users applying their own discretion can use no once they work as false transaction. Okay. Yes. So I guess we came up with 4 things here. This is good information, by the way, Dip Catcher. So 4 ways to help verify these things, protect yourself, all that stuff. So 1, you can look at the source code of the website. 2, you can look at the website you're using, the DApp, whatever, to communicate with to make the transaction MetaMask. 3, you can look at the source code of the website and run it in some sandbox or feed it through something to analyze it or otherwise to figure it out. And 4, you can just connect to a wallet that don't have much in it, burner account, whatever. Do a small transaction, see if it works, see if money goes or not. So all that stuff. So very good stuff. The Chad decided to get a couple extra pumps in today and come by to the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you. I'm about to wrap up here. Ash, you can make a stronger reduced service. yeah, decentralization is definitely good for that. So we live forever. Yeah, we live on the blockchain forever. Kind of like those people say X is false, not sex. Yeah, for sure. All right, everyone. That's all I got for you. Hope that makes sense. Hope you are more, making up your own mind on this stuff. Oh boy, we're done. That's all I got for you today. Scivive and 5555.